hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher, along with Jerry Burrow, and we're going to be covering all the Minnesota hockey that we can cover because, we're the Minnesota Hockey Connection, and we're going to connect right now. Jerry, let's start out with this UMD Bulldog hockey team. My goodness, did you have any idea that they could be as good as they are to this point? I mean, this isn't smoke and mirrors now. They're beating, they split with Denver this weekend, but they're number one in the nation again.
My question mark in the beginning of the season
they're
was
young.
Their goaltending.
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
all of a sudden Miska is really showing up.
Yeah.
And he's been a solid goalie, very consistent. I mean, he's had a couple bad periods, but overall he's been very good. But like you say, I'm very surprised how good they're playing.
I don't think anybody can say that they aren't surprised because this is a young team.
Right.
And where were they picked in the preseason coaches poll?
I think 4 or 5.
Okay.
In the conference.
But right now, UMD number one in the coaches poll and the pairwise rankings.
Yep. Again.
I got to tell you, this is get your tickets now. They're on sale. Tickets went on sale for the NCAA Frozen Four in Chicago.
No, the Frozen Four, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus the face-off down in Minneapolis.
Yeah, well, we're not top. We're getting right to the championship.
Oh,
now.
we're just gonna buy. Okay, all right.
In Chicago, you'll be there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now that's at the United Center where the Blackhawks play. Okay.
Yep, 22,000 it holds.
Have you been in that building?
Yes.
Well, you have.
One time.
Okay. Had you ever been in the old Chicago
Oh,
Stadium?
Yeah.
You were there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
All down by the McCormick Center where they used to have biggest car show in the world.
Yeah.
I guess Gilbert can tell you about that.
Well, if you recall, the former, attorney in town here, Fred Friedman.
Okay.
Fred Friedman used to be on the radio, and I remember some of the conversations he had, some of the talk shows that he did on KDAL. And one of the things was when you go down to Chicago to see a game, you pay the guy $5. It comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'll watch your car for $5." He said, "You pay him."
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, we've got UMD Bulldogs right now that are playing real well. The Bulldogs went out to Denver, and after a Friday night loss, it was a close loss.
Right.
They bounced back and got it done on Saturday night.
Right. And Denver's a very good team with probably one of the D1 college best goalie out there.
Well, Denver ranked number 2 behind number 1 UMD.
Right. And then you still have surprise team, I think, is Penn State in the Big Ten.
1 loss.
Yeah, they're number 2 in the pairwise.
Yeah.
Number 3 in the coaches poll. So I mean, hey, that's amazing. And they just started their program, about 5 years ago?
They're number 2 in the pairwise?
2 in the pairwise and 3 in USA poll. Yes.
Okay.
Here it is right there.
All right.
I got it. And Harvard, number 4.
Okay.
On both sides.
And the Gophers are where?
Gophers are 10 in USA poll and 9 in the pairwise.
Okay.
They beat Michigan State both games last weekend.
All right, the Gophers beat Michigan State over the weekend. The Gophers will play who now? We've got who do the Gophers have coming up?
They're on the road, I think.
Oh, it's the Mariucci Classic.
Well, that's the next. They're done until then.
Yeah, they're done till then.
Wow, that's a long break.
Mercyhurst, Alabama, Huntsville, and UMass.
Yeah.
Isn't Mercyhurst? I thought they were a Division III school.
They might have been many years ago.
And Alabama, Huntsville, floundering in Division I. Why set this schedule up? Why have this?
I don't know.
I mean, really.
Yeah. I always like the top of your non-conference games be top teams,
I mean, UMass might be the exception here, but why to have Mercyhurst in it, okay, but to have Mercyhurst and Alabama,
They've
Huntsville?
always had some kind of crummy teams in that.
Why?
I don't know.
It's the Mariucci Classic. John Mariucci, the great Minnesota hockey player, the grandfather of Minnesota hockey.
You better call Coach Lucia and find out.
But Jared, look at the teams. You've got to have some thoughts on that.
I don't know. Every year it's been that way. They might have one good team usually, and then all of a sudden the other two are. Ooh. So.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to let it bother me tonight.
Okay. And UMD still has another series before they take a break. Yeah, but they just had a break before Denver, 19 days.
You know, let's talk about that. The UMD Bulldogs, we have seen them at Amsoil Arena once in November 11th and 12th, when they split with Western Michigan. We will see them on December 16th, Friday, against Bemidji, and then they'll travel to Bemidji for that Saturday game. And then we will not see UMD again at the Amsoil Arena till next year, January 6th and 7th, Colorado College, and then they have back-to-back weekends at Amsoil.
Then they go down and play in that North Star Cup, and they'll play the Gophers.
Yeah.
At the end of January there, so that'll be a good test too. So, oh well, I don't know how they do the scheduling. It's weird sometimes.
And then the Bulldogs have a series at North Dakota in January. They play Minnesota, Bemidji State. That's part of the College Cup.
Mm-hmm. Well, another good thing for UMD is that Avery Peterson, on the second game with Bemidji, up in Bemidji, he can be in uniform. So
on that Saturday night game?
Yes. Because the semester stops on this Friday there. So the next semester he can.
Is there any chance that Coach Sandlin doesn't let him play that Saturday night game?
I don't see why he would do that.
Yeah.
I think he's been practicing with the team, and some people say he's playing pretty good in practice.
Well, you got to believe
he's going to be on that power play, one of the power play units.
Yeah.
Because he can score. I mean, he has the shot.
Are you saying, Jared, that UMD is going to get a little bit better with Avery Peterson now on the squad?
They should.
Yeah.
If it's improved.
Yeah.
Because if he can get into the small spaces and get in the slot and they can feed him, he has a shot.
City Councilman Howie Hansen predicted that Riley Tufte would be a 30-goal scorer. How many goals does Tufte have?
We're still looking for the first one.
Are we?
I'm tasting the steak dinner already.
Well, keep Howie. There's always next year, meaning the second half of the season. So, steak dinner, huh?
Oh yeah.
All right.
At any restaurant I want.
That's really.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you go to the good one.
I will.
So UMD Bulldog men playing very well, number one in the nation in both polls, and the UMD women hockey team, just as impressive, really.
Well, they finally lost a game this weekend, though. They lost that 2-1 game to Mankato, which is, I think, is on the bottom of the WCHA.
And I believe they outshot them 2-1 in that game.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did split with them.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're still, they're number 5. They dropped 2 spots because of that loss.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Wisconsin's still number 1 in women's hockey?
Yep. Minnesota's number 2. 2 back east teams. Clarkson, number 3, and St. Lawrence, number 4.
And then UMD.
Right.
Okay.
So, hey, that's still pretty good.
Yeah,
who would think they would be that good?
Well, they suffered mightily the past few seasons, really. Shannon Miller and that whole fiasco that took place there, and that's still not done. That's still going to come to...
Well, they're going to be talking to all the plaintiffs in that case now this next month.
Yeah.
So the lawyers will be able to question them on the outside and then go from there. So... stay tuned.
Yeah. UMD women, 5 national championships?
Yep, under Shannon Miller.
Geez, they had some great teams back when they had that nice little run under Shannon Miller. And I don't know, I guess I'm not going to try to second guess what they did up there, but Shannon Miller really one of the premier women coaches in women's college hockey.
Well, she could recruit.
Yeah.
She was from Canada. Plus, she went over in Europe and got some key players from Sweden and Finland. Mm-hmm. So, I thought it was an all-star European team sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we got, our own state, Jenny Potter. She was a great player for UMD.
Sure was. One of the top 3 in the world.
And then, the Canadians that she brought in. She brought in some top-level players. But I don't know what happened the last 5 or 6 years in the program, why that didn't keep on going. I don't know. I wasn't too much involved with the program, so.
Yeah, Mara Crowell, the head coach currently for the UMD women's hockey team, seems to have this team headed in the right direction. And that's exciting. The UMD women, they play next at Amsoil Arena when? Oh my goodness, they're going to play January 7th and January 13th and 14th. So the UMD women are off now until that next game, January 7th, against the Minnesota Whitecaps. And that is an exhibition game, by the way.
Right.
And then they'll take on Minnesota, the Gophers, January 13th and 14th. A huge series. But we got to wait till next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had Mike Randolph on here, head coach of the Duluth East Greyhounds, not last week, the week before. And if you go to our YouTube site or our Facebook page, either or, you can find that interview, and it has become our #1 watched episode.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it was. You always get good stuff out of Coach Randolph. I mean, he says it like it is.
If you go to our YouTube page, it's all one word, Minnesota Hockey Connection. Look it up. It's episode 10 from this season with Mike Randolph, and a lot of good information in there. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Too bad we only
all the
got
coaches give us good information. You know, we always have good luck with the coaches in this area.
They really do, Jer. And
we're going to try to get Bruce Plant. He's a sub-teacher still, so some Mondays we have to get him in here on Mondays when we produce the show. And we'll try to get him in. I know Dave Essie from Cloquet, he teaches, and he can't get in early like that, but we might get his assistant coach, ex-pro Jamie Langenbrunner. Well, I'll find out this week if we can get him in here.
All right.
On Monday, so we can find out a little bit about Cloquet.
Good trivia question. What college did Jamie Langenbrunner play at?
I know.
Jerry?
No college.
He did not play college. Went right from high school
to St. Peterborough.
The Canadian Junior League, yeah.
And I remember watching him in state tournament.
Yeah.
His sophomore and junior year against the good Jefferson teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Too bad he didn't stay for that senior year.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do.
I wonder if he has any regrets for not staying his senior year and or not going to
If we
college.
get him in here, let's ask him.
Well, I don't want to ask the hard questions.
Then I will.
Now, was he recruited? He must have been recruited heavily.
All the time.
Gophers?
Probably.
Yeah.
All over. Who would not want him? His
Yeah.
size, the way he played the game, two-way player.
Stanley Cup.
It was like a Matt Collin to me.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
sure.
they both played that way back, and they're both at the same time.
Yeah. You know, I was watching that Wild Pittsburgh game, was it last month? And, it was...
At the XL?
Yeah, it was that Friday after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Cullen's still got wheels.
I know. And
Looks like he hasn't slowed down.
He's been playing almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
I think he's in his 19th year.
Matt Cullen, Iron Ranger, and been around the league quite a while. So we've got, what else do we have? The Minnesota Wild. We might as well talk about the Wild. The Wild have been playing well lately,
Yeah.
Jer.
They're finding a way to win.
Yeah.
And the goaltending has been great.
Dubnyk?
Yep. He's been playing great.
Yep.
And they finally win a shootout. That's the shocker of all of it.
Yeah.
They never win a shootout.
Yeah, well, again, I've always said in these shootouts, they always parade out the same players. Mix it up. Let Dumba go out. Let Ryan Suter, I don't know, just pick somebody.
Well, look who they put out there that other night in the shootout. They had Pominville first, and he scored. Then they had Stewart about the fourth player because it was tied after 3.
Yeah.
And Stewart scored. Who would put Stewart out there? You never think of that name.
I would have.
Well, he scored. He scored. You know what's so funny? He scored the game before, second goal, and Stahl scored a goal.
Okay.
And those are the two that scored goals in the shootout.
Isn't that
The
something?
next game.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Parisi has a very poor record in the shootout.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And Koivu lately. He used to get that backhand in high,
Yeah.
top net. That he hasn't.
You know
they
who I
that.
liked? You know who I liked in the shootout? Remember Brian Ralston?
Yeah.
He'd skate.
He'd shoot 20 feet out.
Oh, he'd wind up, big slapper from 20 feet out, and he'd score.
It was the weirdest thing in
I
the
loved
world.
it. Yeah.
100-mile-an-hour shot coming
Yeah.
at you from 20 feet out.
Yes. Good strategy.
Scare the goalies. Yeah, you gotta love stuff like
The
that.
Wild are playing well. They right now I think they're about 9th, 10th in the league overall. Montreal, my goodness, playing very well. The Rangers are playing. Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus has been much improved. And we got the Wild have big games this week, and if they can keep it up, it's really going to help going into the second half of the season. They're getting close. Where they got about getting close to 30 games now, so then another 10. It's halfway through already.
Yeah, they'll host Florida on Tuesday. That'll wrap up that short homestand. They go to Nashville on Thursday, and then they're home Saturday, December 17th, 1 o'clock.
1
Drop
o'clock.
of the puck.
Yeah. Is that an NBC game? Is that
FSN.
Really?
Yep.
I wonder why they're doing it at 1 o'clock. Well, whatever. It's 1 o'clock, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got all the games this season as scheduled are on FSN. However, January, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 games on the NBC Sports Network.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be national games then for people all across the United States and
Next
Canada.
month, January 21st, Hockey Day Minnesota in Stillwater.
Right. The weather's good. I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be down there.
What's
That's always fun.
What's the venue
What do you mean?
in Stillwater? Where are they playing the games?
They're playing it right down on the St. Croix River, right on the park there.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of like a bay or a cove?
Well, they're going to put it right in the park, I think, and not in the water.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
right next door to the water.
Yeah.
So, and they always have their big concerts on Lumberjack Day, so they can put a lot of people in there.
I know they did it up at Badette Bay. They did it on Pekegama Lake in Grand Rapids. Did they do it at Phelan in St. Paul?
Yes.
And,
Down at the airport in
it's
St.
kind-
Paul Air.
Yeah, but
Airport.
I'm talking about on bodies of water.
Right.
And I think it's a neat idea, but boy, if there's
There's more chance of going wrong.
yeah.
Just like Minnetonka,
Yeah.
when East played Minnetonka, they had to bring it inside.
Yeah.
And that just kind of ruined it, really, the
Yeah.
atmosphere and that. It
And I
was
look-
just packed in there like
Yeah.
sardines. And
There was talk when Duluth hosted it, they would hold it on the bay, and I think the bay would be relatively safe. The ice out there gets 3 feet thick, but boy, it'd be terrible if something happened.
right. And it worked great. Probably the best one.
At
Hockey Day
Bayfront?
Minutes, yes.
Oh, it was awesome.
And the view, everything.
Oh, yeah,
It just, everything went good.
It sure did. Well, up until the very end.
Oh,
when
that's
they
right.
got-
Right after the game. the
even that
slushy
East
water,
game,
yeah.
even that East game, they had some issues.
Yeah.
But overall,
Yes.
yeah.
It was great. People loved it. So it's a big event now.
What do you think of Bruce Boudreau? I have a hard time watching his press conferences.
He's a little different, isn't he?
Very cliche, almost like he's struggling to find things to say. Nobody will ever top Jacques Lemaire in a press conference. I miss Jacques.
Yeah, I do too. Jock was funny. You're not going to get one past Jock.
What's he doing these days? Any idea?
Probably fishing.
Okay.
Down in Florida. He has that big boat down there.
All
And,
right, good
golf
place
there.
Good place for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, getting along here. High school. Boy, it's really picked up now. And Duluth East finally played a real good game. A solid, full 3-period game. So they're up and coming again.
Is that 2-1 win over Bemidji?
This was 7-1 on Saturday against Andover.
Okay.
At Andover.
Okay.
And Andover's a lot better team this year. And they just took it to them all 3 periods.
I'm going to come back to this Bemidji game, 2-1.
Right. But I'm telling you, if these kids can stay healthy, Grand Rapids and Elk River are going to have some problems with Duluth East.
Okay, Jerry, you jumped over the bench. I wanted to come back to this Bemidji
Okay.
East game. You were at the game?
Yes.
A 2-1 win?
Yes.
Was the score as close as was the game as close as the score?
I thought East was a little better.
Yeah.
They had a lot more shots.
I know you had talked about this. You looked at this game early on, that Bemidji game.
Bemidji was missing their best finesse forward. He's been injured, but he's coming back in a week to 10 days. And if they would have had him, I think we would have had problems.
Really?
Yeah, because the power play with him on that power play, and they got a couple other kids that can put the puck in. I think, and that they got one of the best goalies in the state, and this Fitzgerald. He's just he's a junior now.
Okay.
So I mean, they're a very solid team, and it'll come down to 3 teams out there in the Northwest. It'll be Moorhead, St. Michael, Albertville is in Section 8 AA now, and those 3 teams are going to fight it out to go to state. And Bemidji, you got to understand, they've been to the last 2 state tournaments out of that section. Usually, always was Moorhead, and sometimes Rosal. To get some other team, it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So this year, Bemidji, I think they want to go for 3 times straight to go to state, and they got the kids to do it.
Duluth East lost their opening game to White Bear Lake, and then they've won 3 since. They're 3-1. They got a big game coming up Tuesday, Lakeville North. But this Thursday, Heritage, Cloquet, Esco, Carleton, Duluth East, 7:15 drop of the puck this Thursday.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's the biggest rivalry game in the state of Minnesota in hockey, for high school hockey.
Whoa,
Yes.
time out.
Nope.
Jerry, you see a lot of hockey. There's some big metro
150
matchups.
games a year.
There's some big metro matchups, Jerry.
The only one, no, they don't come close.
Really?
White Bear, Hill Murray.
Okay.
Rosal, Warroad, but that has gone downhill.
Yeah.
You can get into these places now.
All right.
But Cloquet, it's just, I think the intensity of these 2 teams, the love for each other. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they don't like each other.
Yeah.
And,
that's great. Well,
and it just makes it a great atmosphere.
I never gave it any thought. I'm glad you're here doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So really, you're going to call this the biggest high school rivalry in the state?
Yes, last 25 years, this is the biggest.
My goodness.
And I tell you what,
Wow.
if Cloquet, they have a lot of young kids, and if they keep on improving, they got Jamie Lingbrunner, assistant coach now, and if he can help some of these kids and get these young ones going, that second half of the year, it could be a heck of a semis at the Amsoil with, let's say, Cloquet, Duluth East, Grand Rapids, and Elk River. And Elk River right now and Grand Rapids are 3 and 4 in the state. I have them, and almost everyone else does too.
Okay.
They just haven't switched the 2 teams around. That's all.
All right.
And they all play each other down at the Edina Classic this week on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It'll be Edina, Eden Prairie, the number 1 team. Edina, I think, are 5 or 6. Elk River and Grand Rapids. Each night, each one plays each other. Switch off every night. So
Yeah.
they get to play all 3 teams. So you'll know basically in the top 5 who is the best after this week by far.
Awesome. Things
Yeah.
are heating up. High school hockey in full swing. Duluth Marshall 1-3. 3-1 loss at Hermantown on Thursday. Tuesday they'll play St. Francis at Mars. But Thursday, December 22nd.
That's the game.
East at Marshall. Mars Lakeview Arena, 7 o'clock. East and Marshall, December 22nd, Thursday night.
Well, I should put Marshall in that group, the other 4 I just mentioned for 7AA, because Marshall can get into that top 4 teams for the semis too. But let me say one thing about Marshall. They got Duluth East before this season started. That December 22nd date circled. Circled.
Yeah.
They're waiting for this.
Sure.
Last year, at Amsoil, they played each other for the first time in over 15 years, 20 years, almost.
Yeah.
And they beat East 4-0. Everyone was shocked.
I'm still shocked that I can barely even remember it. Yeah, isn't that something? So again, great matchups coming up. Cloquet, yeah.
You better get there early on that Marshall game. Both of them. Cloquet game too.
Okay, Cloquet East Thursday. This Thursday at Heritage, 7:15, and Duluth Marshall and East. We got to wait till Thursday, December 22nd. It'll be here before you know it.
And that's at Mars.
7 o'clock up at
Lakeview.
Mars.
Yes.
Cloquet 1-1-1 on the season. A 4-0 win at Hopkins. Tuesday they'll play at Superior. Any other surprises? Grand Rapids 5-0.
Yeah, they got one of the best first lines in the state. I don't know if they're deep enough. They got good, very good goaltending, but I don't know if their second and third line is deep enough, and their second and third pair of defensemen are, But Elk River is very deep. I saw them this last Saturday late afternoon, and they beat a very good top 10 team, Centennial, and they took it to them, I thought.
Grand Rapids 5-0. They'll play at Edina Thursday, and then they'll hop on the bus and go over to Eden Prairie on Friday.
All these games are at Edina. 3 days straight.
Okay.
It's called the Edina Classic.
Gotcha.
And it's not that Edina, it's just held there. They
Gotcha.
bring these teams in, and each night, and it's a lot of TVs come in there, streaming. There's about 5 different streaming. The games will be streamed. So you can go on the internet and find these games. They'll be streamed. And another thing is that this place gets rocking. I mean, Edina is a pretty good, nice stadium, the Braemar.
Yeah.
And then they'll have over 3,000 at all these nights.
Awesome. Defending Class A champs, Hermantown Hawks, 2-1-1. Not real impressive. Again, just 4 games in. 9-0 win over Hopkins on Saturday. Next game for the Hermantown Hawks, Friday, Minnetonka, 7:30 at Hermantown Arena.
Yeah, Hermantown, I think, is coming around now. They played a couple top AA teams, and that was good competition for them. And I think now they're finally getting some scores in. Some people have Delano number 1 because Hermantown lost, but I think Hermantown still is the number 1 team in Class A, even though the record is not as good. But it's possible at the Hilltopper Classic, which is the between Christmas and New Year's, and the 27th, 28th, 29th up at Mars Arena, Hermantown, Delano, Bemidji, and Cloquet are in that. And I tell you what, that's on one side.
Yeah.
Then Marshall has their side, a little easier.
Yeah.
But I think it's a possibility that 1 and 2 in Class A can get together.
Geez, FSN should look into doing some of these high school games.
You know what? They just don't want to put the money out.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Hibbing's 4-1. They will host Greenway at 7:30 on Tuesday. Greenway 6-0. Wow, a clash of the Titans. Tuesday. Tuesday at Hibbing. Eveleth Gilbert 2-3. They'll play at Ely. They host Proctor on Thursday. This Saturday, the 17th. The Hippodrome in Eveleth will be jam-packed. The Virginia Blue Devils and the Golden Bears face off 7:30. Virginia is 3-3. And I wanted to mention this Proctor team. 3 wins in a row for Proctor.
Wow. Way to go. So a lot of hockey left this year in high school. I mean, the rest of this year, when colleges start taking breaks now, a lot of the colleges, but get out there and see some high school hockey. You'll love it.
Yeah. That takes care of that. We've come to the end of the show, Jerry, the end of the shoe. Superior, they had a big win, 8-0 over Menominee. Superior's 4-2. And that's it.
There you go.
Minnesota Hockey Connection. You can find us online, mnhockeyconnection.com. Go to our Facebook page, Minnesota Hockey Connection, and like us there. We'll like you back. We want to thank the staff at PACT-TV for producing this show. And again, look for us on YouTube and our videos on Facebook. Any feedback we appreciate. And Jer, we'll be back here next week to drop the puck.
There you go. Have a good week.